Hey y'all, back in the wood shop, trying something totally new today. I'm gonna be making a pen. So dropping some wood on the lathe, spinning it out, pressing all the parts together, and making my first pen. So before we get started with actual making it, I want to run through this whole kit that I bought. I'm gonna put a link in the description and show you guys what comes with this starter kit. So this kit comes packaged pretty well. They put a lot of stuffing. All right, going into it, you get your colored, pictured instructions along with other supplies you may need. That's good. A packing list to show you everything that comes in the kit. And also what I really like is that it came with this list because they send you like a generic pack of 5 different blanks, and the list breaks down each blank. Hold on. Spam calls. Anyway, you get all these blanks and the list tells you what you have, a brief description on it. That way you know what kind of wood you're working with. So yeah, 5 different blanks there. You're also getting the CA glue or super glue that you're gonna need in the assembly. High friction polish for when you're done. Hit it with the polish, nice bright coat. You got your mandrel. You're gonna be putting the blank along with the bushings and everything on this. That's what goes on the lathe to mount. 5 different pen kits. And everything is kind of packaged separately. So this makes 1 pen, then there's 4 more in there. You also get an extra set of bushings. There's 3 of them in there. You get your drill bit for pushing through the blanks in order to mount it and assemble. And you also get the bit with the blade that's used to cut into the blank and make sure it's flush with the bushings prior to mounting it on the lathe. Yeah, so that's what you get in the kit. I want to say I paid $70 something. That's with shipping and all. So like $64 plus shipping. Came just in time. There was a delay, but I think it's because of the winter storms. But yeah, that's what you get. Let's try making this thing. First thing we got to do is, number 1, mark the grain so that even though it's cut, you can kind of manipulate it and see how to orientate the wood so that your grain matches up. And then we're gonna cut it in half. Easy enough. The way I'm gonna find the center on this is by connecting my 2 corners. Boom. There's your center. By the book, you're supposed to be using a drill press for this. However, I don't have a drill press. So we're about to make this happen. Next step we got here after we put our not so centered holes through. But you know what? It's gonna work. That's why they say use a drill press. Whatever. I'm gonna make it work. This could be a disaster. Who knows? Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take some really fine sandpaper. I want to say I'm using 220 here. We're gonna take these brass fittings that come along with our pen kit. And we're gonna scuff up the brass tubes. When you scuff it up with the sandpaper, that's gonna give more surface area for your super glue or your CA glue to grab onto before we glue it into the wood blanks. This kit again came with the Instabond premium adhesive. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure it's super glue. So anyway, just drop it on there. Twist in as you go. That way it kind of evenly coats in there. and then you let it sit. Next one. Now, based off the instructions, you are supposed to take that drill bit and cut away some of the materials so that your bushings will line up with the metal tubes. I thought that through and just pre-cut and shortened it up. And we're gonna see how the rest of this goes. I'm still tripping at how off-center these are without a drill press. Let's see how it works out, y'all. Let's mount this thing up. To mount this thing on the lathe, it comes with this mandrel kit. This end goes into the power head end or the power end. We got 2 bushings. My first blank, notice my index line. Then I'm gonna go another bushing. This is really bad how off-center this is, y'all. Anyway, my next wooden blank. See how those things kind of line up like that. I'll put another bushing on there. Then we spin it on tight. Now the good thing about this is that with the index line, from this point on, we just got to remember which way everything's facing. That way we get the grain to match up perfectly. So we are all mounted up on the lathe. You see how I said it goes into the power end of the drive end. My live center fits right into there. With these kits, you do have to order specifically for what type of live center you've got. But we're mounted and you can see how horrible that is. And it's misaligned when you don't use a drill press, y'all. So don't learn from me. I experiment way too much to be given lessons, okay? So we're gonna round this thing out with a spindle gouge, or key here is to get this thing rounded out. You may or may not see this thing explode while I'm doing this. So there it goes. It's rounded out. Now I'm just going to take the smaller version of the spindle gouge. Got one, almost looks like a thumbnail gouge. And we will shape it up. So there is my shape. Check out that grain. I will say, before I start sanding, I have this thing set at about 1600 RPM, so not very fast. That really helped out while I was roughing it out, getting that rectangular oddball shape out. This one is kind of hard for me to adjust the speed. It just takes a lot, taking it apart, moving the belt. But if you have a variable speed lathe, man, money. Higher speeds as you're sanding and buffing, good to go. As I progress through the sanding, I'm gonna start off with 220, 400, 600 grit, and then finally 800 grit before I buff it out. All dusted off and ready for the high friction polishing compound. For this compound, you want to make sure you shake it up very well. And you're going to use a cloth. For the first coat, when you apply it, you want to put it on pretty thick. So as I'm applying it on thick, and I'm going to slowly roll it by hand before I actually turn the machine on to apply the compound better. You can already see that grain just popping out like crazy. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of pressure as I have the machine going. And there it is. Pulled the mandrel off of the lathe. And now we're going to assemble it. You start by taking the mandrel apart, remembering which order everything goes or how you want it to look. And take the pieces out of our pen kit. And then this is how it ends up looking. So you're gonna have your brass clip on the end with the cap, tail end, your ring, your twist mechanism with the cartridge, and then your writing tip. They do sell actual pen presses for this, but I'm willing to bet that this clamp is gonna work just fine. Twist it tight. Close up your pen. And it's complete. Check it out. And does it right. Yeah. So that's it, y'all. I'm pretty sure as I make more of these, the shape will get better, the details and whatnot. But if you like what you see, if you think it did a pretty all right job, make sure you leave some comments, leave me some feedback, and don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Till next time, peace.